Hey everybody, it's Molly here at Elevated Mind and Movement, and today I wanted to talk about a couple of terms that I use a lot. One of them is from the tradition of yoga, and the other one is from DBT, or dialectical behavioral therapy. And the two of them really work very well together and maybe help give us some insight into how we can live with what's happening in our world right now. So, the first word is aparigraha. And in the tradition of yoga, there are what are called the yama. And the yamas are things that we want to avoid to make our lives better. So aparigraha means non-gripping. And that doesn't just mean holding onto something, like I'm gripping my favorite pen, but also holding on to how we think things should be, or our idea of how we want things to be. Sometimes we have a hard time letting go of something that isn't maybe turning out the way that we wanted it to. So if we take the situation that we have right now, nobody really wanted this to be happening. No one asked for, hey, you know what would be really cool if we had a virus that put us all on lockdown because people are dying. No, most of us had other plans for what we want to be doing with our time, with our day, even if at first people were like, I could maybe hang out at home for a week or two. Now everyone's like, okay, the weather's getting nicer. It's spring. I want to go camping. I want to go to the river. I want to go to a bunch of concerts that have been canceled and now I can't. And I could sit and dwell on all those things. Think about everything that I'm missing out on and be pissed. That's a choice. I could totally do that. But that would be an example of me gripping onto what I thought my month was going to look like, what I thought the rest of my summer was going to look like, what I thought my plan for my life was. And it's not really turning out that way. So, non-gripping is being able to let go when things don't turn out the way we want, to not hold on to them and wish or lament or, oh, if only. It's to say, okay, this isn't exactly what I wanted, but I can maybe roll with this. Which brings us to radical acceptance. Now, radical acceptance is well known in the world of dialectical behavioral therapy. Radical acceptance is the idea that acceptance isn't just accepting the things that you like or the things that you want. It's radical, it's big, it's without limits. So we are accepting that things might not be the way we wanted them to be. So when I talk about radical acceptance, I usually sort of preface it with did you ask for this? No, probably not. Did you want this? Probably not. Did you make this happen? Probably not. Unless you were that guy who ate the bat. But we're not even sure it's his fault. So radical acceptance says you may not have wanted it. You may not have created it. You may not have had anything to do with the fact that this is happening in your life. And you still have to live through it. You still have to deal with the ramifications of the fact that this is reality now. So radical acceptance is important because we can't move forward. We can't fix a problem that we're pretending doesn't exist. If I'm so stuck in how something should be, and I'm gripping onto that story. I'm supposed to be going and getting my hair done. I am supposed to be going on a trip to Hawaii. I am supposed to be planning a fishing trip. Whatever. If we're stuck right in that story, we have a hard time moving on to, okay, well, if I can't do those things, now what? The only way we can move into that, now what, is to admit, okay, yeah, I didn't ask for this. I don't like this. I don't want this. And unfortunately, this is what I've been left with right now. So, if I have to live through this, how can I make this feel better for myself? What can I do to get me through this situation that I didn't ask for, that I didn't create, that I don't want anything to do with? And that's non-gripping. That's aparigraha. Being able to kind of roll with the punches and be like, okay, this isn't what I wanted, but here's what I'm going to do to get myself through this. Here's how I'm going to handle this. Now, sometimes aparigraha is also referred to as non-greed, non-hoarding, radical acceptance. We don't need 3 years worth of toilet paper to get through COVID-19. Sorry, Costco. So, being able to deal with the situation at hand without going overboard, without trying to insulate ourselves against, if I prepare enough and if I plan enough, nothing bad will ever happen to me. Bad stuff's always going to happen. Our ability to adapt or to deal with things is to be able to say, yeah, it's not what I wanted. It's not what I asked for. I get that this is what I'm dealing with right now, and I'm going to figure out how to move on from this place. So, a way to practice this idea in our body of this whole letting go of how you thought it was going to be, letting go of the story in your mind of what you wanted. We're going to move this into our body to get another understanding of it through something called progressive muscle relaxation. Now, I'm going to just give you a quick version of this, but if you really want to try this, go on YouTube. There are dozens of recordings of progressive muscle relaxation that will talk you through it, and you could do this every night to help yourself relax, fall asleep. The idea behind progressive muscle relaxation isn't just that you do it to relax, it's that you do it enough times where you start to train yourself to understand the difference between when your body is tense and gripping and when it's relaxed, so that you notice it a little sooner and maybe you can pull back and relax a little faster so that you don't get to that place where you're like, ah! Yeah, I do that a lot. So, progressive muscle relaxation. How this works. We usually start at one end of the body and work to the other end. So you can start from the feet and work your way up. You can start from the head and work your way down. Either is fine. How this works is you just move through your body, tensing and relaxing your muscles. So we're just going to try this really quickly, starting with our arms. So I want you to just grip your hands like you're squeezing lemons so that you feel the tension moving all the way up your arms. You are going to squeeze every last drop of juice out of these lemons because, it's spring and we want lemonade. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. It's okay if your arms start to shake. Feel that tension and then let it drop. And just notice the difference in how your arms feel, how your hands feel. We'll try that again with the shoulders. So bring your shoulders up to your ears. Hold them up there. hold it. Notice that tension. Maybe you notice the tension moving across your back. Just feel that for a second and then let them drop. And notice how much different that feels. And you can do it a couple of times if, you're not quite getting the feeling. But really notice that difference between tense and relaxed. And because, laughter is the best medicine, I'm going to let you laugh at me now. Because now we're going to tense and relax our face. So, tension. And let it relax. In case you missed that one, we'll do it again. Really wrinkle up your forehead, scrunch up your nose, squish up your mouth, tense your jaw, and then drop it. Wiggle your jaw a little bit. Notice how different that feels in your body. That's the difference between when the body is gripping and when it's relaxed. And a lot of times our body will give us signals for when our mind is maybe gripping or not accepting. You have those days where your neck feels really tight, your jaw is clenched, you're like, I don't know, that person is really pissing me off. Okay, your body is giving you those signals that there's some story that you're holding on to. There's some belief that you are gripping. And if you can let that go, now you can move on. Okay, yeah, that person does not do things in a way that I understand. All right, now we can do something to help ourselves feel better because we let go of the story. So, practice this. Go find some progressive muscle relaxation, scrunch up your face, scrunch up your whole body, feel how it feels when you let it go, let it relax, let all that tension drop. And then see if using the idea of non-gripping, aparigraha, or radical acceptance, being able to accept whatever comes your way so that now you can move forward, helps. All right, that's your little helpful tip for this week. Hopefully I will see you again soon, maybe even in person.